So yeah, like once again, when I looked down, I saw the so-called numbers and letters of these gears that I have in this car, and the values are 1 through 4. Again, if you add up those numbers, you come up with a value of 10. Why does it say D3 and D4, like R2D2? But it's saying like D3 and D4. Well, D, he was put to death, which C, which is Christ, the number 3. Also, the number D, as in the number 4, meaning that he was supposed to be divine or some form of divinity. But yet, at the same time, you can also look at the letter N, the letter R, and the letter P, because he was a Nazarene. He was righteous, and he basically was powerful. So all these things are quote unquote shifting in gear. So you see what I'm talking about now? So when you're driving down the street and you're hitting that shift, or you're hitting that shift, you're also shifting your gears, your ears and your mind to hear, certain things that you do, or to see certain visions that are there in your face by not really looking at the true value of what you're looking at. It's programming you, and it's putting you in a position where you need not to be. So those are the things that you really have to look out for, because everything is symbolic in this planet. Everything is symbolic. When the wind blows, when the rain falls, everything is symbolic. The rain is nothing but your tears. The wind is nothing but your breath, and the land is your body, and the heat in itself is your heart. Or the heat, it also at the same time is your solar plexus in your body. This is why they call it solar plexus, just like the solar rays. So, like when you and I are talking and doing certain things, this form of communication is communion. Get it? Communication. You got your communion right there. So why are they going to tell you in church that you need some bread and you need to drink some water when your real communion is communication? That's vibration. That's speech and also tones, vibrations. So by these so-called religious, trying to be all righteous, they ain't righteous. They ain't right thinking. They are left thinking. And the reason why they're left thinking, because they're only using 10% of their mind. They're not using the 90%. So who are they to tell you what they know? Would they even know where they come from in the first place? How are they going to call you a sinner and they have no idea of who they are within inside themselves? Because they've been programmed the same way they're programming you when you're sitting down there in their courts. Their courts are their churches. So, these are the kind of things that you have to, really look at and come to a realization of what's being put over your face. It's that veil. So once you overcome these obstacles that are there in front of you, you'll see exactly what we've been trying to tell you all in the first place. It's not that we're trying to be, this righteous, folks. It's not about that. It's not about being right. And it's definitely not about being wrong. It's about going back to nature and being who you need to be. You. With no control, with no remorse, with no regret, no fear, no nothing. I mean, if you are made perfect, and this is the one thing what the Bible says now. Adam and Eve jokers, they were made perfect. If they were made perfect, that means they were a pure fact. Perfect. Okay, perfect. So if they were made perfect, why in the world would a God want to go down and control a perfect people? Think about that for a moment. But I'm not saying they existed. That's a total different story. But yet the allegory behind the Bible is there for your knowledge, not for your belief. It's there for your knowledge. It helps you to think. But see, instead of thinking, you're believing. And believing is really not thinking. It's pretending. So you just really have to sit down and know, what it means to be natural. If you don't know what it means to be natural, then that means you're unnatural. And there's a big problem with that, because nature ain't going to slow down for nobody. Nature's going to do what nature needs to do. She's going to be just as spiritual as anything necessary. She is going to be so spiritual, she's going to spin your ass out of the cosmos. This is why you're seeing all those tornadoes. She's being spiritual. Spiraling up. This is why when you see the earth shaking, like, if you was like in your mom's arms, she's rocking you to sleep. You get it? So she's about to knock your ass out. This is why when you see the wind blowing, it's just like a mother whispering in your ear telling you, I love you, sweetie. I love you, sweetie. But when you mess around too much and the mama is, talking to you and ain't listening, what's she going to do? She going to blow your ass down. That's why it's so windy out there sometimes. You got to think about these things, people. You really have to sit down and think of these things. It's very, very serious. You can laugh, shit, giggle all you want. But when that day does come, and it is coming quickly, you'll see. You will see exactly what we have been trying to tell you all this time. So go ahead and take it as a joke. You're going to choke on your very word in which you spoke. I just want you to see one thing here. It kind of like dawned to me, and I know who's here with me, and it's very, very obvious. If you look behind me and you look at this pillow that I just put it up there in the video that you just saw, and look at the face, the mouth, the chin, the nose, and the eyes. That's Olmec. In other words, it's Elmurian, the Moors. Those Moors are the Olmecs. Those are for our ancestors. So it's obvious that they're looking over us and helping us to be who we need to be, which is natural, to be our really divine self. This is why they hate using that N-word. That N-word is so powerful. Why are you going to make a law? Why are you going to get all this fussing and fighting over a letter N, the N-word? You get it? All this fussing and fighting over the N-word. So that means we can't be nice. Nice is a fool anyway. We can't be natural. That's the N-word. We can't be Naga. That's the N-word. We can't be natural. That's the N-word. You can't have no nonsense. That's a word. You got all these damn ends. Because it's their damn end that's going to happen. You see what I'm saying? It's their end that's going to end. Nasty bastards.